Finally. I started to think you weren't coming.
Nobody said you had to hang out in the creepy cave while you waited.
Well, I did wait, so let's make this quick. These idiots are carrying the red lyrium out in unprotected containers. We don't want to stick around long enough for it to start talking to us.
We'd better get to work.
Sounds good to me. So this is what you do now?
Beg pardon?
Skulking around in caves, shooting guys? Is this your day-to-day?
I usually try to avoid the caves.
We should seal the tunnel before more Darkspawn join us.
What's his name?
Bogdan? He's in Navarro right now, selling my machine to wealthy landowners.
I heard some of the guild were trying to get you.
I built these doors. They probably shut this one from the other side when they heard the ruckus we were making. Ta-da!
This is your work. Are you an artificer?
I've been known to build the occasional trap, weapon, or otherwise lethal device now and then. I take it you're a builder too? You've got the telltale, how do I take that apart and put it back together look in your eye.
I've only recently started building things.
Great, let's find something you can lure into a gauntlet of steel jaws. I love it when that happens. After you. You know, this is almost fun. Kinda like old times.
I don't recall us ever shooting people together.
Remember crashing Boston's You might as well, son.
This isn't nearly as dangerous as pissing off my brother.
lay, do you think?
As long as this weird shit is going on, at least. Maybe longer. Why?
You'll have to stop by before Bogdan gets back. You should see my new workshop. There you are. You won't be able to use this entrance again.
Bianca.
You want to say something, Varric?
Andraste's ass, Bianca. You're the leak?
When I got the location, I went and had a look for myself. And I found the red lyrium, and I studied it.
You know what it does to people.
I was doing you a favor. You want to help your brother, don't you? I just wanted to figure it out.
Did you figure it out?
Actually, yes. I found out that red lyrium... It has the blight, Varric. Do you know what that means?
What? The two deadly things combined to form something super awful?
Lyrium is alive, or something like it. Blight doesn't infect minerals, only animals. I couldn't get any further on my own, so I looked for a Grey Warden mage. Blight and magical expertise in one, right? And I found this guy, Larius. He seemed really interested in helping my research. So I gave him a key.
Larius? He was the Grey Warden we met in Corypheus's... Oh, shit. I knew something seemed off.
I didn't realize until you said you found red lyrium at Haven. I came here and, well, then I went to you.
That name means something to you, Varric.
He was at the Grey Warden prison where we found Corypheus. And he definitely wasn't a mage before.
You had to know we'd figure out what happened, Bianca. Why did you insist on coming with us?
Varric told me what people were doing with the red lyrium. I had to help make this right.
You couldn't have known what would happen.
Mafarath's balls, she couldn't. I told her exactly how bad this shit was. I told her to keep away from it.
I know I screwed up, but we did fix it. It's as right as I can make it.
This isn't one of your machines. You can't just replace a part and make everything right.
No, but I can try, can't I? Or am I supposed to wallow in my mistakes forever, kicking myself, telling stories of what I should have done?
Ha! As if I would tell stories about my own mistakes.
Oh, for pity's sake, would you two just get a room?
Sorry, Inquisitor. We've done all we can here. Bianca, you'd better get home before someone misses you.
Varric.
Don't worry about it.
Get him killed, and I'll feed you your own eyeballs, Inquisitor.
I'm glad to have answers, but... shit. The second she showed up here, I knew. I let this mess happen. I gave her the tag. I am not good at dealing with shit like this.
I don't think anyone is equipped any better than you are.
No, the point is, I don't deal with things. If Cassandra hadn't dragged me here, I'd be in Kirkwall right now pretending none of this was happening.
You know that's not true. You've worked as hard as any of us to stop Corypheus.
Is that true? I don't even know anymore. Thank you for your help back there.
After all this, do you think you'll see Bianca again?
I always do.
Is this a bad time? I can come back.
No, it's all right. Bills are really not that engrossing. I've been meaning to come talk to you anyhow. I never officially joined the Inquisition. I don't know how to do this disciplehood thing. I'm a businessman. Never really followed a chosen one before.
I'm a person like any other. You don't have to treat me differently.
Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm overthinking things. You just don't know what you are to the people out there. The Herald of Andraste is a symbol bigger than any of us.
So what exactly am I to the people out there?
The sky tears open, demons everywhere. To ordinary folks, these are the end times. The only hope they have is you. You're the sign that somebody might hear their prayers. That maybe they're not abandoned after all. You heard the crowd singing after Haven was attacked?
Whatever I am to Thaddeus, I'm still just an ordinary person.
So, just a regular person, like anybody else. Right. I should probably get back to work. Unless, you up for a game of Wicked Grace? There you are. I've been looking all over for you. You're just in time. We almost had to start without you.
What exactly were you starting without me now?
Look who showed up, everybody. Deal him in, would you, Ruffles?
I do hope I recall the rules. It's been ages since I've played a game of Wicked Grace.
Grab a seat. We're ready to start.
Are we playing cards or what?
There's a crown on his head, but a sword too. His head didn't want either.
Don't talk to the face cards, kid.
You seem to have enough people. I have 1,000 things to do.
Oh, man up and play, Cullen. The girls are watching.
Curly, if any man in history ever needed a hobby, it's you.
Dealer starts. Oh, I believe I'll start at... 3 coppers. Do you think that's too daring? Maybe I'll make it 1. No. Boldness. 3 it is.
Seriously, who starts at 3 coppers? Silver or go home?
Sounds good. I'm in.
All right by me. I'm in. Well, are you in?
Of course. Deal me in, Josephine.
Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you're joining us.
Ante up, Inquisitor.
The poor recruit ran out into the dining hall in nothing but his knickers. And this profound silence fell over the hall as 70 mages and 30 Templars all turned to stare at once. Then a slow round of applause began and spread until every soul was on their feet. A standing ovation.
What did he do?
Saluted, turned on his heel, and marched out like he was in full armor.
That's how you know it's true. I could never put that in a book. Too unlikely.
I think it's our professional storyteller's turn to tell one.
I think I can manage that. Did I ever tell you about the time we broke into Chateau Hain? It started, as most capers do, with a trap. And then Hawk looks up and says, "Looks like the Duke has fallen from grace."
That's how Duke Prosper died? You know, that's almost perfect for him. And the dealer takes everything. I win again.
Deal again. I've figured out your tells, Lady Ambassador.
Commander, everyone knows a lady has no tells.
Then let's see if your good fortune lasts one more hand.
I'm not losing any more coin to Josephine, but I have got to see this.
Don't say a word, dwarf.
I tried to warn you, Curly.
Never bet against an Antivan, Commander.
It comes off. I didn't know it came off.
I'm glad you decided to join us tonight. It's too easy to mistake you for the Inquisitor.
I enjoyed this.
See? That's what I mean. It's easy to forget you're not just an icon or symbol. Like those statues of Andraste holding bowls of fire. At least it is for me. You up for another game when this is all over, Inquisitor?
I wouldn't miss it.
Good. It'll take me a while to talk Cullen into it. Maybe I'll work the revenge angle.
Who's that? Did I win?
So, you've been hanging out with Three Eyes? He does good work. Nothing compared to Bianca, though.
I take it you know each other?
Acquainted. I wouldn't call us drinking buddies or anything. Guy's got weird priorities. Frankly, I think he's jealous of Bianca. Poor sod.
I'd love to build a crossbow like Bianca someday.
Then I wish you luck. The world could probably use a few more smiths that good.
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
Another time, Varric.
There are spirits hovering by the veil to observe the thrones of powerful nations, the machinations, betrayals. After our time in Halam Sharal, I understand why. I had forgotten how I missed court intrigue.
I'm pleased you had a good time.
Political gambits, broken promises, half-truths. It is a palace full of motivation, and motivation is where great things happen. In any event, Celine should now be a steadfast ally, especially after helping her neutralize Briala.
My sensing concern over how we dealt with Briala.
No? Why would I disapprove of... Oh, because we're both elves. I'm sorry, I was confused. I do not consider myself to have much in common with the elves.
Nor should you. You're not defined by the shape of your ears. They're not your people.
No, they are not. I joined the Inquisition to save the world. Regardless of who my people are, this was the best way to help them. As for the elves of Orlais, Briala did what she could. She was an admirable woman, even if her gambit failed.
Even if we couldn't help Briala, I hope we can make life better for Orlesian elves.
Stop Corypheus. That will do for a start. It speaks well of you to feel for the oppressed. Help them for that. Know them for what they are, instead of just seeing a pair of pointed ears.
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. There is, after all, no shortage of vultures circling the sunburst throne.
Is becoming divine something you really want?
When Justinia was alive, I would have laughed at anyone who even suggested that I could be her successor. Things have changed. Still, I don't know. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
Whoever becomes divine will have my support if she requires it.
And I'm sure whoever becomes divine will absolutely require the Inquisition's backing. The Chantry is faltering, but it still has influence over the people. Who tells the people what's right? Who do they look to in times of peril? A divine with enough support can change the Chantry. And with it, Thedas. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems. A message from Divine Justinia.
That's a shock. Are you all right reading it?
Thank you for the concern, Inquisitor. But I am. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
I'll help in whatever way I can.
Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as valuable as I think, we're not going to be the only ones looking for it. I shall meet you at the Chantry in Valence. Try not to delay. I expected the hero Ferelden to be at Adamant, but he was not with the other wardens. He studied the Blight after killing the Archdemon, and may know something that could help us. If you like, I can have agents look for him.
That sounds like a wise choice.
I'll make preparations in the war room. Now, was there anything else?
I'll leave you to your work.
You're the Inquisitor. I thought you'd be scarier. Mother said you were scary.
Why would your mother say such a thing?
Because people fear the next stage if it comes too soon.
Kieran, are you bothering the Inquisitor?
Of course not. Did you see what's on his hand, Mother?
I did see. 'Tis time to return to your studies, little man. My son. Never where you expect him to be, naturally.
I didn't know you had a son.
Why would you? I take great pains to not let my own reputation affect him in any way. To most in the Imperial Court, he's simply a quiet and well-spoken lad, perhaps the heir of some distant family. But he goes where I go. Worry not, Inquisitor. Kieran is a curious boy, but seldom troublesome.
Will his father be joining us as well?
'Twould be most unlikely. His father helped raise Kieran for a time, but events have conspired to take him elsewhere. So 'tis but the two of us, Inquisitor. Your fortress is a large place, and you will scarce notice our presence.
He seems like a fine young man.
But not the sort one might expect a woman like me to raise. No son of mine would be raised in a marsh. bereft of contact with the outside world. His future will be difficult enough without my adding to his burden. To think, until recently this place stood decrepit, occupied only by the desperate and the lost. Now it is party to events that threaten to shake the world. I wonder if it is pleased.
It sounds like you've heard of Skyhold before.
This fortress was built upon the remains of a site holy to the ancient elves. They called it Tarar Salan, the place where the sky is kept. It is said that from here, they reached up to the heavens to bring them down to rest. They abandoned it, as did the humans who came after them. Bones laid upon bones, silent until your arrival.
I like this place. I've made it mine.
The magic in this place has seeped into the stones, protecting it from darkness. Those who let it fall to ruin did not know what they possessed. You, I think, shall do it justice. You were kind to welcome my aid, Inquisitor, even knowing as little of me as you do. I will do my best to aid your cause with all the knowledge at my disposal. This I swear to you.
I appreciate whatever help you can give us.
Some might think Corypheus a madman for seeking godhood. Yet one must ask, what were the old gods? What secrets of theirs did the ancient magisters know? What I fear, what all should fear, is not that Corypheus believes he can succeed. 'Tis that he actually may. I was pleased to learn you saved the Grey Wardens from their own self-destructive foolishness. For all their eagerness to shed blood for their cause, we will still need them should another blight arise. 'Tis fortunate my warden was not there, or he would surely have been in the middle of it.
Your warden?
You might know him as the Hero of Ferelden. A lofty title, though he wears it well.
It's good to know you have someone special.
Nobody is more surprised by that fact than I, Inquisitor. My love is on a quest to combat the calling, the actual calling that signals the end of a warden's life. If he is successful, it will mean a long life for him, perhaps for them all. Once Corypheus has been defeated, I fully intend to join my love once more. Kieran misses him greatly.
It seems odd he went on an adventure and you stayed behind.
We are neither of us so weak we would die of loneliness. Where he went, Kieran could not follow, and thus I remained behind to look after our son. We will be together again soon enough, and I am glad of it.
How can the calling be stopped? Is that actually possible?
Grand Enchanter Fiona was once a Grey Warden, but something removed the blight from her blood. Similarly, a warden mage named Avernus performed experiments that prolonged his life to unnatural lengths. So we know it is possible. Indeed, 'twas I who found the lead my love now follows in the Western lands. Success is not guaranteed, of course, but he has never lacked for determination.
Are the two of you happy together?
The three of us, and it is little business of yours. But yes, I never thought to find someone in this world I could trust as an equal. He has been a good partner, and a good father. And now I pray we discuss something else, lest these honeyed words make me vomit.
Is there any way the hero of Ferelden could help us against Corypheus?
'Tis unlikely. Corypheus uses the blight, but he is not controlled by it like a true Darkspawn. Still, my love has ever been resourceful. I can give the Inquisition a means to send him a message. He will think this means I miss him, of course. Oh, he will be insufferably pleased with himself. I hope you appreciate this sacrifice, Inquisitor. I imagine your forces will be heading into the Arbor Wilds very soon, Inquisitor. Trust me when I say that wherever the Illuvian is hidden, it is worth any effort to prevent Corypheus from acquiring it.
Now that you've seen the Inquisition up close, what are your impressions?
'Tis remarkable what you have built. I will give you that. Leniana has built a network of spies beyond anything Thedas has seen. All this in precious little time, conjured from thin air through the power of fervor alone. I wonder if Corypheus suspected what he was enabling, just as I wonder what will become of all this once he is defeated.
We have to defeat him first, then I'll worry about what's next.
Should that happen, the world will lie at your feet, more or less. Beware the heights you reach, Inquisitor. When this is done, many will be eager to knock you back down.
I'd like to know more about you.
Ah yes, whence comes the mystery woman slinking her way into the Inquisition's ranks? Once I was an apostate, living well away from the banal influence of the Chantry in the Kukari wilds. Then came the Fifth Blight with its darkspawn, and I left Ferelden for the Empress's court. 'Tis certain the nobles of Orlais breathe a collective sigh of relief that I am now here.
It's odd that an apostate could live so openly.
It confuses those who expect apostates to cower and hide. I stand boldly before them and demand to know why I need some Chantry mage to teach me to control my power. They would put me on a leash so they can feel safer at night. I am uninterested in their comfort. Naturally, it helps to have friends in high places.
The Orlesian court seems like an odd place to find someone like you.
That was the point, originally. I knew the Empress was intrigued by the arcane and that I could answer questions no Chantry mage could. Thus, we fit together nicely. I became her advisor and she my benefactor and source of refuge. Truth be told, our arrangement would not have lasted much longer. Too many wagging tongues, even for Celine.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight.
The Blight began in the Kukari wilds, so yes, I experienced it firsthand. Indeed, I fought at the hero of Ferelden's side for a time. He is the reason the Blight was defeated. We became close, closer than I even thought possible. When I left, he pursued me. And after that, I came to Orlais. The last place one would look for me, or such was my hope.
Tell me more about your son.
He is a very special young man.
Special in what way?
In every way. At first, Kieran was a means to an end. But as he grew, I never thought of myself as a mother, Inquisitor. I had no good example to follow. I find myself becoming something I can barely recognize.
I'll leave you to the garden.
As you like. Wandering the gardens, I see.
You seem to know a great deal about elven lore.
The Dalish are not the only ones interested in the distant past, Inquisitor. Indeed, my skills allow me access to places the Dalish dare not even dream of. The ancient elves hold secrets they have not yet given up. Secrets about the foundation of Thedas itself. Thus, they are my focus. Corypheus clearly feels the same.
I'd like to know more about you.
If you have questions, then ask.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Until next time, then. Wandering the gardens, I see.
I'll leave you to the garden.
Until next time, then.
plums on the windowsill again. The juice is attracting flies. There are spiders everywhere. The plums were right in front of me, but I can't quite recall who took them.
What have you done?
She looked through.
No.
But you like demons!
I enjoy the company of spirits, yes, which is part of why I do not abuse them with bindings.
It isn't abuse if I ask.
Not always true. Also, I do not practice blood magic, which renders this entire conversation academic.
He won't bind me. He's a mage and he likes demons, but he won't help.
Why would you want Solus to bind you?
So I'm safe. If Solus won't do the ritual to bind me, someone else could. Will. Like the Warden mages. And then I'm not me anymore. Walls around what I want. Blocking, bleeding, making me a monster.
Isn't it extreme for Solus to bind you? What if that takes away the part of you that makes you... you?
Helping makes me who I am. I help the hurting. That is what I do. All I do. Am. Me.
And if binding you erases your mind? Your consciousness?
You wouldn't make me hurt innocent people. I don't want to hurt innocent people again.
We'll find a way to keep you safe without binding you, Cole.
I have a suggestion, if Cole is ready to listen. I recall stories of amulets used by Raveni seers to protect spirits they summoned from rival mages. A spirit, wearing an amulet of the Unbound, was immune to blood magic and binding. It should protect Cole as well. The resources of the Inquisition could be used to find such a talisman.
Good. They will not take me.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
Is there a problem? It seems like she's bothering you.
Mother Giselle is kind, and she means well. So, yes, she was. I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus, everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Leliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
If they'll pick non-priests, why am I not a candidate?
Because you're a man, first and foremost. If they name you a candidate, they may as well join the Tevinter Imperium. Truly, though, I imagine it's because they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces. I just don't know why they believe Leliana or I would be any better.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you, of all people, say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
Many extraordinary things have happened to get us to this point.
I'm not so certain. I think it has been a long time coming. Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
You're not the only candidate. What about Leliana?
Leliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Leliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
So this is your new crusade?
I've agreed to nothing yet.
And if the Chantry calls on you?
Then I will do whatever I can, for as long as I can. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
Mayor Gregory Dedrick of Crestwood is present for betraying his own constituents. He confesses that, 10 years ago, he flooded Old Crestwood to kill refugees and villagers touched by the Blight. The mayor claims it was to spare the rest of Crestwood, but we only have his word.
If the mayor has anything to say in his defense, let him speak.
There's no cure for the Blight. But I couldn't convince anyone to leave a sick child or husband behind.
So you herded the infected into one place and flooded Old Crestwood. Were no innocents caught in the waters?
Nearly everyone in the village had the Blight. I swear it. Have mercy. I couldn't tell the survivors I'd drowned their own families to save them. I couldn't.
The Blight was your undoing. Let it also be your means of redemption. I give you to our allies in the Grey Wardens, to fight Darkspawn until the calling takes you.
I don't deserve the honor. Your worship, but I'll do my best.
All right.
Inquisitor? With an illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed. The Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
I won't allow it. I can't.
Indeed, should Corypheus succeed, do not doubt you would be first to feel his holy wrath.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvian before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
You overcome it. All three of you together. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Liliana, your fastest agents will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus' army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morgan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
The Inquisition began as a handful of soldiers. Thanks to you, we're now a force that will topple a self-proclaimed god. I could ask for no finer counsel, no better guidance.
I speak for all of us when I answer. We could ask for no finer cause.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this illuvion.
Inquisitor.
How goes the battle, Captain?
The Red Templars fall beneath our blades, your worship. Commander Cullen says they're nearly finished. Our scouts saw Corypheus traveling towards an elven ruin to the north. We can clear you a path through his armies.
Do only what you must. We need enough people for a celebration when we get back to Skyhold.
We will not fail you, my lord, no matter what comes. Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
I wonder, is it Andraste your soldiers invoke during battle, or does a more immediate name come to their lips?
They show me respect, Morrigan. No one mistakes me for the Maker.
True. You are far more likely to come to their aid than a chantry fable. But I digress. If your scouts report accurately, I believe these ruins to be the Temple of Mathal.
Which is?
A place of worship out of elven legend. If Corypheus seeks it, then the Illuvian he covets lies within. Let us hope we reach this temple before the entire forest is reduced to ash.
Listen to how close the fighting's gotten. It will be worse ahead.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus's work for him.
Do you sense the magic crackling? Something more powerful than the Red Templars stirs.
Empress Celine's general is just down the hill, Inquisitor. He wishes to join you for the last push.
Those were Grey Wardens. They must be the last of those enslaved at Adamant.
We'll remember the men they were, and we'll avenge them. They fall! The Red Templars fall!
There, ahead. An entire camp of Red Templars.
Look sharp. They've got archers on the wall.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
must be the Temple of Mythal.
If we find Corypheus anywhere, it will be there.
I'd count on it. Be ready.
I hear fighting ahead.
Namelana Sabanale.
The wretch mocks you, master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows?
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
It cannot be!
Across the bridge! Now!
At last, Mythal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
You said Corypheus wanted an eluvian, but he mentioned a Well of Sorrows. Which is right?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
Could they be the same? Could alluvian translate into Well of Sorrows?
No. It seems an alluvian is not the prize Corypheus seeks. Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it, and thus you must keep it from his grasp.
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, Darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
Ah, then Corypheus cannot die. Destroy his body and he will assume another.
We'll find a way to stop him once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how.
It's sealed.
Corypheus's lackeys managed to open it. Perhaps the altar holds a clue. It appears the temple's magics are still strong.
Is this Elven? Does it say anything about this Well of Sorrows?
Atishol vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge, respectful or pure. Shiven. Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well is a good omen.
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mathal would have first paid obeisance here. Following their path may aid entry.
Perform a ritual to appease elven gods? Long dead or no, I don't like it.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back.
Don't let them pass!
Come on, you might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
An army fights and dies for us. The longer we tarry, the more soldiers we lose outside. Let's jump down and be done with this place.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
We don't know what's behind those doors. They might have a reason for going another way.
Had they the option, they would have proceeded. That must lead to their goal.
Their goal? Or yours?
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once, things of might and wonder. Their passing has left us all the lesser. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
You barely know what the Well of Sorrows is, but you want to restore it.
Yes. Is Thedas so full of wonders that we should leave them to die one by one? Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. Elves, dragons, magic. The list is endless. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more than the mundane. This I know to be true. I read more in the first chamber than I revealed. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible price.
What exactly did that altar say about the Well of Sorrows?
Like most elven writing, it was insufferably vague. The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas, the sweet sacrifice of duty. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
Did you not trust me enough to tell me about this price when you read it?
I hoped to find more information. If I intended to cheat you, I would have feigned ignorance entirely. My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity arises to save this well, I am willing to pay the cost.
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. The rituals may point the way. Yes.
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Will answering that question let us destroy Corypheus for good?
Perhaps. I would suggest first dealing with the well. If Corypheus obtains it, any chance of success could be lost.
You said this Mythal was worshipped as a goddess.
So one assumes. What is a god but a being of immense power? The dread old gods were nothing more than dragons, after all. They rise as archdemons, and they die. Perhaps Mythal was a powerful elf, a ruler among her kind. History often plays storyteller with facts.
You admit lack of knowledge, and yet dismiss her so readily?
I do not dismiss her. I question her supposed divinity. One need not be a god to have value. Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mythal was even a single entity. The accounts are varied.
There are varied accounts of Mythal.
In most stories, Mythal rights wrongs while exercising motherly kindness. Let fly your voice to Mythal, deliverer of justice, protector of sun and earth alike. Other paint her as dark, vengeful. Pray to Mythal and she would smite your enemies, leaving them in agony.
More Dalish tales, I assume.
If you know more about this, Solus, speak.
The oldest accounts say Mythal was both of these, and neither. She was the mother, protective and fierce. That is all I will say. This is not a place to stir up old stories.
Whatever the truth, all accounts of Mythal end the same. Exiled to the beyond with her brethren.
What do you mean, exiled?
Tricked by the Dread Wolf, as all the elven gods were said to be, trapped in a land beyond the Fade. Many Dalish believe this is why the elves fell from grace, and their gods did not save them. Or perhaps they were simply rulers slain by Tevinter. Who can say?
You've seen the elves here. They seem odd.
Indeed. Two things are possible. One, this is a group of Dalish separated from their brethren, cultists, fanatic in their desire to keep humans away. Two, these are elves descended from the ancients, having resided here since before the fall of Arlathan. The second appears unlikely, but if true, the implications are astounding.
Is that even possible? How?
With magic, anything is possible. Whatever the truth, the Guardians successfully kept the temple a secret. They must kill all who enter, even the Dalish. A more sensible question might be, why?
I want to discuss the well again.
Oh, I see. An opportunity to use the well may not even arise. I understand this. All I meant to suggest is that, if it does, I be the one to do so. I am willing to accept the consequences.
What if something happens to you? What about your son?
Kieran is a strong lad. He will thrive, with or without me.
Are you sure of that?
I am sure of precious little these days. Yes?
Do you know what this part of the temple was used for?
It may have served as a chamber of reflection, perhaps to contemplate the righteousness of one's cause. More importantly, I suspect none were permitted beyond this area without a priest. Ancient texts claim Mythal passed judgment in the flesh, but 'twas surely the priests who proclaimed rulings here.
Why did the ancient elves insist on so many rites?
We may safely assume one did not petition high priests for Mythal's justice by strolling up and knocking. I see no more insufferable ceremony here than in a chantry.
More rituals? What are they for, do you know?
I believe they signify an intent to lay oneself bare, to champion a cause without pity, regret, or shame. Mythal's cult was not fond of vacillation. One approached them with nothing less than complete confidence.
What happened to those who were less sure of themselves?
Legend does not say. Perhaps this place has a more gruesome history than we know.
Let's continue.
As you wish. Come, let us see if the doors have opened. Is not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Vernavis, you are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
They are my enemies, as well as yours.
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Vira Belasan.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
So you're elves from ancient times? Before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan?
The Shemlen did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before. It is meaningless. We endure. The Vira Belasan must be preserved.
What is this Vira Belasan exactly?
It is a path, one walked only by those who toiled in Mythal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
We did not come here to fight you, nor to steal from your temple.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mythal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
I accept your offer.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Vera Bellasan, it shall not be despoiled, even if I must destroy it myself.
No!
This would be our guide.
Mytholan asked.
That's helpful, since Morrigan chased off on her own.
She seeks to protect the Well of Sorrows.
This place looks untouched.
The entire temple must have looked like this long ago. How could the elves pour such devotion into this nonsense?
We can always ask our hosts.
I will leave that to you.
Henshra! Gilas Velathan!
I believe she would prefer that we remain close.
Just a quick look around. The Sentinels are holding against the Venatori.
We should hurry. Their numbers are not endless.
Mir Sumiel.
Well of Sorrows. Maker's balls.
So Mithal endures.
Andraste, guide us.
I want them dead before the Master arrives!
Kaltora Virethan!
I will swim. So close. The well knows its vessel, and those who would despoil it. Stand aside, Inquisitor. The trials you set me, I have overcome. As a courtesy, leave now. Or not at all.
No, Calpurnia. We have things to discuss.
True. I did not think you so civilized. You serve your people. You have one last chance to save them. The Well of Sorrows overflows with knowledge, power abandoned by those the elves worshipped as gods. To walk the Fade without the anchor. That is what the Well of Sorrows will give Corypheus.
Why would Corypheus think entering the Fade will work any better than last time?
Speech without understanding. I knew you would take the well for yourself, to ransack its wisdom, to try to defeat Corypheus. But you'd still be just a child, playing with a sword. Corypheus will wield it as a master.
Once you've drunk from the well, Corypheus will use a ritual on you. You'll be a mindless tool, enslaved to his will.
That... where I come from, idle tales must be proven.
Here, the page with his binding ritual. He tried it on your master, Erasthenes.
How could you know? And these runes, no one has written in these since... He made so many promises, and everyone alive! Then Venhides Cavern Vass! He was to give Tevinter a true leader. If Corypheus would misuse me, he'd misuse them too. I was blind.
Perhaps Tevinter does need a strong leader. Be that woman, while you still can.
You mock me, Inquisitor, as if you'd let me walk away.
The Inquisitor is showing you great mercy, mage. Do not waste it.
If Corypheus triumphs. Listen, if any power can challenge him, it lies in the well. Perhaps its price is too high, but if you can take it, humble him. Vitae benefaria, Inquisitor. Do not follow us. I will give you some time. I go to confront my master. Then I will return to Tevinter. If there is anything left of me.
Abelard!
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon the undeserving.
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Corypheus needed Calpurnia to use the well. Without her, there's no vessel to claim it.
The moment we leave, he will send more forces to secure this place. The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor. If that power can be turned against Corypheus, can you afford not to use it?
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge on through this. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
This can't be easy, holding on to what's left.
You cannot imagine. Each time we awaken, it slips further from our grasp.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire? To partake of the Via Belasan as best you can? To fight your enemy?
Gifts like this don't come freely.
No boon of Mythal was ever granted without cost. The Via Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this. You shall be bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists, if she ever did.
Bound as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen-Harel and banished to the Beyond.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder? I said nothing of...
She was slain, if a god truly can be. Betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Via Belasan remains. As do we. That is something.
Are you leaving the temple?
Our duty ends. Why remain?
There is a place for you, Lethaline, if you seek it.
Perhaps there are places the Shemlin have not touched. It may be that only Uthenera awaits us. The blissful sleep of eternity, never to awaken, if fate is kind.
You could come with us. Fight Corypheus. He killed your people.
We killed ourselves. Long ago.
Malas Amalin Nahalam Abalas. His name, Abalas, means sorrow. I said, I hoped he finds a new name.
You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to travel the Fade?
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be no more use to Corypheus than glass. I did not expect the well to feel so... hungry.
Let's not be reckless. I don't want anyone hurt.
I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
What training makes you so qualified?
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which you could only dream. Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
What about you, Solus?
No. Do not ask me again.
I don't know who's better suited, and neither do you.
I have the best chance of making use of the well. For everyone. Let me drink.
You're not concerned about the price. Bound forever to the will of Mythal.
Bound to the will of a dead god? It seems an empty warning. Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
I hate to say it, but Abelas's plan to destroy the well may be the best one.
What happens when Corypheus comes for you again? He is immortal. The wisdom of the well may include a way to destroy him. Give me this and I fight at your side. I shall be your sword.
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk. Make her help us all.
I trust you with this power more than her. But it's not for me to decide.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
If anyone is to use the well, it will be me.
So you will take what little knowledge you can understand and let the rest go to waste?
And who's to say it will go to waste?
I do. I am forever balked by those who believe they know better than I. Drink if you will, for the sake of us all, but steel your will to do it.
Corypheus, a magister wishes to rip the veil open. I must learn how to stop him. If you can help me vanquish Corypheus, take whatever price you wish.
I knew no good would come of this. How do you feel?
through the mirror.
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not. He won't hide.
You hear it. The well speaks to you.
It's voices. Whispering from so far away I can barely hear them.
If only one who understood such voices had used the well's power instead.
Then we'd have to rely on her interpretation of them, and whatever she chose to tell us.
Have I not been forthcoming enough for you, Spy Master? I told you what the well could have done, Inquisitor. You should be hearing shouts from the heavens, not whispers.
Then help me. Isn't that what you came here to do?
Earlier you said you knew what needed to be done next. What did you mean?
The dragon is not an archdemon. It's a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his power. Kill it, and his ability to jump to other bodies is disrupted for a time. He can be killed.
That's no simple task. Corypheus alone is powerful, but where there's dragon...
There is a way, but I'll need Morrigan's help.
The voices from the well tell you that, do they? Very well, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready to begin this plan of yours.
Are you certain of this?
We have no choice. If Corypheus comes here now...
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime.
It comes swiftly, this moment that will be spoken of for ages. The day the Herald of Andraste challenged the Darkspawn that thought itself a god. Defeat him, and you'll be more than a holy man to the people. You'll enter legend.
Now that sounds more dangerous than anything I've done so far.
And there is the wit that reassures us. People joined the Inquisition after hearing you were blessed, but they've stayed because of how you lead. I wanted to tell you that I shared their sentiments, Inquisitor, and... well, I suppose I just did.
You've always been there for us, Josephine. And for me.
It means much to hear you say that. Farewell, my lord. When you face Corypheus, may you walk in the light.
So, you've been hanging out with Three Eyes? He does good work. Nothing compared to Bianca, though.
Inquisitor, thank the Maker you're here.
Morrigan chased after her son into the Illuvian. She was terrified.
She was chasing Kieran.
She said he activated the mirror somehow, and then she ran into it. I've never seen Morrigan like that. You must go after her. I will find help, Inquisitor.
Wait, this isn't the crossroads. This is the Fade. How did the Illuvian lead here? Can it go anywhere? Morrigan!
Go back! I must find Kieran before it's too late.
Why would Kieran do this? How could he do this? We stand in the Fade. To direct the Illuvian here would require immense power. If he is lost to me now after all I have sacrificed...
We'll find him, Morrigan. He can't be far.
The Fade is infinite. He could literally be anywhere. Whatever happens to him now, 'tis my doing. I set him on this path. Please, help me look, Inquisitor. Just a little longer.
There he is!
Who's with him?
That's...
Mother!
Mother.
Now, isn't this a surprise?
So this is all some kind of family reunion.
Mother, daughter, grandson. It rather warms the heart, does it not?
Kieran is not your grandson. Let him go.
As if I were holding the boy hostage. She's always been ungrateful, you see.
Ungrateful! I know how you plan to extend your life, wicked crone. You will not have me, and you will not have my son.
Be a good lad and restrain her.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Of course you know. You drank from the well, did you not?
You are Mythal.
Well, that was unexpected.
You, of all people, should expect the unexpected by now.
I'm sorry, Mother. I heard her calling to me. She said now was the time.
I do not understand.
Once I was but a woman, crying out in the lonely darkness for justice. And she came to me, a wisp of an ancient being, and she granted me all I wanted and more. I have carried Mythal through the ages ever since, seeking the justice denied to her.
Then you carry Mythal inside you.
She is a part of me, no more separate than your heart from your chest. What do the voices tell you?
They say you speak the truth.
But what was Mythal? A legend given name and called a god? or something more. Truth is not the end, but a beginning. A herald indeed, shouting to the heavens, harbinger of a new age. As for me, I have had many names, but you may call me Flemeth.
If Mythal is within you, why not reveal yourself?
And to whom should I reveal myself?
To the elves, to everyone.
I knew the hearts of men even before Mythal came to me. It is why she came to me. They do not want the truth, and I am but a shadow lingering in the sun.
Why did Mythal come to you?
For a reckoning that will shake the very heavens.
And you follow her whims? Do you even know what she truly is?
You seek to preserve the powers that were, but to what end? It is because I taught you, girl. Because things happened that were never meant to happen. She was betrayed as I was betrayed, as the world was betrayed. Mythal clawed and crawled her way through the ages to me, and I will see her avenged. Alas, so long as the music plays, we dance.
I presume you know what we're up against.
Better than you could possibly imagine.
So will you help us?
Once I have what I came for.
No, I will not allow it.
He carries a piece of what once was, snatched from the jaws of darkness. You know this.
He is not your pawn, Mother. I will not let you use him.
Have you not used him? Was that not your purpose? The reason you agreed to his creation?
That was then. Now he is my son. Flemeth extends her life by possessing the bodies of her daughters, Inquisitor. That was the fate she intended for me. I thwarted her, and now she intends to have Kieran instead.
Wait, the way she talked about Kieran.
I am not the only one carrying the soul of a being long thought lost.
He is more than that, Mother.
As am I. Yet do you hear me complain? Our destinies are not so easily avoided, dear girl.
Allah, I have to.
You do not belong to her, Kieran. Neither of us do.
If Kieran is so special, why did you wait until now to come for him?
I did not know where he was. Morrigan cleverly hid him from me. Until now.
'Twas the well.
Be thankful you did not drink. Imagine, bound to your dear mother for eternity.
Whatever else you think he is, Kieran is still a child.
And so much better behaved than his mother was at his age.
Kieran,
As you wish. Hear my proposal, dear girl. Let me take the lad, and you are free of me forever. I will never interfere with or harm you again. Or keep the lad with you, and you will never be safe from me. I will have my due.
He returns with me.
Decided so quickly.
Do whatever you wish. Take over my body now if you must, but Kieran will be free of your clutches. I am many things, but I will not be the mother you were to me.
No more dreams?
No more dreams. A soul is not forced upon the unwilling, Morrigan. You were never in danger from me. As for you, Inquisitor, there is an ancient altar deep within a shaded wood. Go to it. Summon the dragon that is its guardian. Master it in combat, and it is yours to command against Corypheus. Fail and die. Wait!
Are you all right, Kieran? You are not hurt?
I feel lonely.
She wanted the old god soul all along. Is it worth reminding myself that perhaps I do not know everything after all? My mother has the soul of an elven goddess, or whatever Mythal truly was, and her plans are unknown to me.
So Kieran had the soul of an old god?
Taken from the archdemon at the final battle of the Fifth Blight. Yes, he has never known anything else. I'm uncertain what effect this will have on him.
But why did you...
I told you at the temple, the magic of old must be preserved, no matter how feared. Kieran had a destiny, and now it is in Flemeth's hands. I suppose we shall see what she does with it.
You truly had no idea what she was.
I knew she kept the truth from me. I even suspected she was not truly human, but this... I always thought the so-called elven gods were little more than glorified rulers, but now... I have doubt. And doubt is... an uncomfortable thing, Inquisitor. I suppose I should be thankful you drank from the well. Eternal servitude to Mother would not be my first choice.
For what it's worth, I think you did the right thing.
Did I? She was testing me, and I cannot tell whether I passed. Mother said you must summon a dragon at an ancient altar. Do you know where that is?
I think so. It's a place dedicated to Mythal.
As no doubt is the guardian you must battle. Pray my mother has not led you astray, Inquisitor. She is not above doing so for her own amusement.